Wir bestehen aus 2 Grenadierkompanien, einer Panzerkompanie und einer Jägerkompanie. Und wir sind deswegen auch einzigartig, weil wir hochprofessionell sind.
A cold wind cuts across Germany's northern coastline. But on the docks of Bremerhaven, there is no peacetime quiet. Armored convoys line the port. Rail cars clank under the weight of tanks. Military police block access roads as cranes swing containers marked NATO priority. At first glance, this looks like preparation for a distant war. But for Germany's planners, this is rehearsal for a scenario they fear may come far sooner than many expect. Russian threat context. Because, across Europe, the war in Ukraine has accelerated something darker. Intelligence services warn that Russia is not just fighting Kyiv. It is preparing the option of a direct confrontation with NATO. Berlin's latest assessment bluntly states that the window for a major Russian attack could open as early as 2029 or even sooner, depending on the Kremlin's momentum, production capacity, and perceived Western weakness.
Our intelligence services are telling us urgently that Russia is at least creating the option of a war against NATO by 2029 at the latest.
He added that Russia has restructured its entire economy and recruitment system for war, warning,
Russia has largely geared its economy and society toward war. At the same time, Russia is recruiting more soldiers than it currently needs. Almost 1 additional division is being recruited every month.
His message was unmistakable.
These divisions, without a doubt, have their sights set on us, on the European Union, on NATO. The threat to our country from Russia is no longer a distant concern. It is already a reality.
And this is why, deep inside Germany's defense ministry, a radical project has been taking shape. A 1,200-page secret wartime blueprint, known as OPLAN DEU, maps out exactly how NATO forces would cross Germany by road, rail, sea, and air if a Russian attack triggered full mobilization. It is the largest restructuring of German defense strategy since the Cold War. Not just battle plans, but port capacities, rail timings, fuel corridors, cyber backups, and emergency powers. A blueprint designed for a Europe where peace can no longer be assumed. Chancellor Friedrich Merz summarized the shift, saying,
"We have to face a new security policy challenge. We have to create new security policy foundations for the preservation of European freedom and peace on our continent."
For Germany, this is not rhetoric, it is a new national doctrine. Because Russia's confrontation with Europe is no longer limited to missiles and artillery. Sabotage on railway lines, cyber intrusions into ports, drone sightings at critical infrastructure, disinformation networks flooding German social media. These have become monthly, often weekly patterns. Officials call it the grey zone, where the line between peace and war dissolves. In July, a major NATO logistics exercise, Red Storm Bravo, revealed just how fragile Germany's systems are. A single cyber attack simulation froze port terminals for 6 hours, halting NATO convoy movements. In another drill, a railway choke point in eastern Germany caused a 10-hour delay in moving armor to Poland. None of these were real attacks, but they mirror vulnerabilities Russia has already exploited across Europe. And this is the heart of the problem. Germany's defense is not just its army, it is its infrastructure. A bridge unable to carry heavy armor, a port without enough deep water berths, a legal process that takes 18 months to authorize a temporary military road. Germany's own commanders say that a modern war will be lost or won not by firepower, but by logistics. For decades after the Cold War, Germany dismantled its wartime systems. Rail hubs were privatized. Mobilization plans were abandoned. Large military stockpiles were sold off. Germany assumed history had moved on, and that large-scale territorial war was no longer plausible in Europe. But Russia's invasion of Ukraine shattered that illusion. Now, OPLAN DEU forces Germany to rebuild everything it once allowed to wither. A wartime logistics command, a civilian military fusion network, a 360-degree defense architecture that touches ports, rail, energy, telecom, and society. Defense industry firms like Rheinmetall, led on logistics by Mark Lemmermann, say Germany must expand production, simplify procurement rules, and harden supply chains. Merz reinforced this new model, saying,
Our commitment to a new German security architecture follows the logic of a 360-degree view. We do not want white spots when it comes to the security of our citizens.
But Germany is still racing the clock. Commanders admit bluntly, not all ports are ready, not all bridges have been certified, not all legal changes have been passed. And NATO cannot defend the Baltic states, Poland, or Slovakia without German rail, German roads, and German ports functioning flawlessly under pressure. Billions have been allocated for new military mobility corridors, cyber defense upgrades, port expansion, and real-time logistics tracking. But these projects will take years, not months. Merz has been equally clear that society must accept this new reality.
We have to get used again to the thought that peace and freedom have reasons. Defense is our responsibility, a state responsibility and a social responsibility.
Germany stresses that war is not inevitable, but the threat window is shrinking. Russia is rebuilding its divisions. Hybrid attacks are increasing, and the stability of Europe's largest economy now depends on how quickly OPLAN DEU can transform paper strategy into real-world readiness. In Berlin, the message is blunt. The time to prepare is not in 2029, but now.